A Saturn-Neptune conjunction at 0 degrees of Aries is very much a testing time for for all of us. The negative side of this is that Neptune is going to dissolve boundaries. It's going to bring a lot of brain fog, confusion, fatigue, and a lot of old, long-held traditions and systems of organization are going to dissolve and collapse. The equally strong positive alternative is that Saturn is going to bring structure into the imagination and open up new ways of developing, whilst at the same time, Neptune is going to change Saturn's old, rigid boundaries from concrete and steel into rubber and elastic. And we're all going to learn to bend the rules instead of breaking them. Now, I prefer the positive side because I'm an optimist. A lot of more people will go, oh, the world's going to end. And I'm like, no, it's just history that's ending, not the world. You know, it's a new time. It's a new dawn.
Yeah,
I'm really excited by the whole thing. I've been waiting for this moment for 40 years, 50 years. So to me, this is the moment that we've been waiting for, not just in my lifetime, but for ever since our ancestors got together around a campfire in the jungle or the desert and went, well, what's all that about then? You know. So for tens of thousands of years, our ancestors have waited for this time. And I think we owe it to their spirit and the efforts of all of our progenitors and our ancestors to actually honor them and actually do something with this that makes all their efforts worthwhile. Or maybe I'm just making it all up and I'm just kidding myself to make me feel good. I have to weigh that possibility as well.
I mean, it does feel like a very fascinating time to be here.
Oh, it's a great time. I feel alive. I feel really stimulated. Mind you, I'm going to be 70 in a couple of days' time. So, you know, maybe I'm just coasting on that. You can never lose track of the idea that everything we think for ourselves about the state of the world is subjective. We can't be objective about ourselves, much as we would like to be. No one can.
Yeah, as you were describing.
That's where we rely on other people to give us feedback.
The sacred mirror. Yeah. Yeah, it was interesting because as you were providing this sort of description of Neptune and Saturn, it was I was hearing this sort of bend without breaking almost. It's like this opportunity to bend without actually breaking. I wonder what that does for our ability to create what's coming forward next. You know, maybe we are meant to smash through some paradigms, but still keep the old intact some way. I don't know. That's just my sort of.
I think it's thinking outside the box, considering options that previously have been unthinkable. And that's the beauty of astrology, because the Saturn-Neptune conjunction, which has been in force for a year, but it's not hit exact yet. We've had lots of big things in this last year, which there's still more shocks to come this year. And then the Saturn-Neptune conjunction will be exact in late February of next year. And after that, we're sort of through that nexus point. It's like being at the end of a pencil sharpener. That fine point where it's a micromillimeter thick, and then you suddenly come out the other end and burst into glory. It's like a birth canal thing, I guess. I'm in a man's body at the moment, so I wouldn't know that one. And then we get 2 years of Uranus trine Pluto, both of them sextile Neptune, and this has just never happened. So I have to be hopeful, even though I know full well, in the cynical way of looking at it, that various financial, economic, military, and political organizations will fight to the death to maintain their control over the way the world is going. But the fact that there's so many people now thinking for themselves tells me that we're on the cusp of a soft revolution, a non-violent revolution, a revolution of consciousness, where people are just going to turn around and say, enough now, not in my name. And I can't wait for that. And that's where astrology is. I see astrology as the, what is it? The lingua franca of the emerging consciousness revolution, a language that everyone can speak without judgment. And that's just, it really turns me on.
Oh, it's such a blessing. I mean, the universality of it, the timelessness of it. I mean, as you've been describing, like, you know, we've had so many languages rise and fall through the eons, and yet somehow our language and dialogue with the stars has consistently remained open. I wanted to ask you if you could place a particular sacred feminine archetype on the global altar right now for this particular time to get us through, who would it be and why would you choose that particular feminine archetype?
Wow. I don't do God. I don't do religion, right? I don't pray. I have my own relationship with spirit and with the divine, and I have a great relationship with it. On my travels, especially filming a documentary, I found myself in Vienna. And outside the Habsburg palaces, where you've got these giant marble statues of Hercules and Pluto with a triple-headed dog, you know, macho, there's a little church in the central square outside the palace. It's an old cathedral. And in there, there's a sub-chapel with an absolutely beautiful Vesica Pisces, the shape you get when you overlap two circles, right? And in the middle of that is a statue, they call it the Virgin Mary, but to me it's the goddess incarnate. And I've been there twice, and both times I burst into tears. I got down on my knees and apologized for the stupidity of men. To me, the beauty of certain structures, geometric shapes, whether it be the stone circles from 5,000 years ago, some of the great architecture of the last 1,000 years, modern architecture that embraces perfect numeric patterns. This is what inspires me more than anything else, I think. Perfection in number.
Hey there, Inspired Evolutionary. If you absolutely loved this, well then here's a full conversation with this guest on the Inspired Evolution podcast. Check it out now.